Hello, my name is Dr. George Mochocki, and welcome to Introduction to Business 121, online offered by the College of Lake County. We're starting week two. Week three. Let me just quickly talk about week two. Week two. By this time, you should already had your Connect homework done. I think I have like 80% of the class have completed Connect homework. You're on target. Very good. You've done your forms. Majority of the class have been doing their forms on time. That means you respond to my first post by Tuesday midnight. And if you notice with the last week's forum, you're not able to see anybody else's thread until you respond to the first post. Then you're able to see who else responded and communicate to 6 or more students over the period of the week. Some of you, most of you, 80%, you're doing right on target. You've got the B's and the A's, full 20 points for the form. Some of you respond once and one or two students. Right now, that's 10 points. It's not very much. 10 out of 20 is an F. So you'll see an F on there. In the comments section, let you know you got some points, but you didn't maintain a point. Remember, the forms are lectures. It's lecture-based for you to build interaction, build a network with other students within your classroom. So when they post something, you don't always wait for me to respond. Say, that's a good idea. Or don't wait for someone to respond to you. I respond to them, but they didn't say nothing, so I'm not going to post anymore. That's not business. You're out there always connecting with new individuals, trying to bring people in. And if they haven't responded to you, didn't give them anything of information for them to respond back to you. Say, hey, I agree with this. No, I don't agree with this. Your position on this subject matter. Okay, you have to be active within the forum. First post is to mine by Tuesday midnight, or your grade goes down, and then you have to respond to 6 or more other students within the week. All I'm saying, because going forward, I'm gonna say, here's your forum points. Don't come and say, why didn't I get the full point? And if you're gonna say, hey, good idea, good, that's not a response to anything. That's just like nodding your head with acknowledgement. Give me some substance within the forums if you want the 20 points going forward. We're in week 3. Honeymoon's over. We're going forward. Forums are done. All right. So make sure you respond to me, or otherwise you don't get all the points. No problem. I'm not arguing with you. You want to do them, you don't do them. Your grade will be. Remember, the grade you get in this online class, which is a very interactive class, is like your currency, academic currency. So if you don't do certain things, I don't pay you. You don't get the full point. You should pull out of this class a B and A easily, because remember, this is a fundamental class. It's a survey class, introduction, but it talks about every chapter, every discipline that every businesses have to interact with. So it's a foundational class, like learning math. You have a basic language skill. You have a basic idea of what's going on. Enough on the forms, all right? The Learn Smart. Remember, once you pass on the Learn Smarts, if you're doing them late, remember, you can do as long as you want on the Learn Smart until the due date ends. When the due date ends, that's it. Your points are being reduced, and sometimes after you won't be able to do them anymore. So remember, to Learn Smart, you could come in here. Don't wait for the weekly assignments. You could start ahead. I already had some students that are already in, let's see, week 6. In this, they're 3 weeks ahead. They've read ahead. Hey, I got time. I could get ahead. So then you do the form, which is a lot easier going forward. Similar to how you do time management. If you knew you got a little free time, see if you could work ahead. And remember, try not to do everything in one day, a little bit every time. This is how you're successful to be in an online class or virtual classroom, similar to how you would operate in a business as a manager, a small business owner, or a supervisor. You have to manage your time effectively. This is what this course will teach you. Plus, it helps you communicate in a virtual environment. All right, so let's go. I'm going to go into our weekly assignment. What do we have for this week? Remember? Oh, let me go back here a little bit. If I went into the announcements here, make sure you update your profile. I did a quick YouTube in here. You click on the link. It tells you step by step how to update your profile. Remember, when you update your profile, I want to see your face in there. It makes it easier for the forum, makes it easier for other students. This is part of the virtual classroom to bring personalities and bring more of a interactive feeling in a virtual classroom. Put your face up there, otherwise your form is going to be reduced by a couple points. All right, I want to know who I'm talking to. All right, let's go. So we're going to go. I'm in a student mode, so I'm in a weekly assignment. Week 2 is going to be turned off pretty soon. So those of you have at Sunday midnight, week 2 is off. Is everything else is gone. If you didn't do any of your homework, some of the work I put it here late, but I take off 25%. So you have to be consistent. Due date is what businesses are focuses on. When I hire someone, when I tell a customer I'm going to have something delivered on this day, I'm going to be service that day, they expect me to fulfill my commitment. I expect you to fulfill your commitment. Remember these numbers here, those are due dates that I've already put in the blackboard to keep you current. So not only me or other instructors look at them, utilize the calendar, keeps you on time. Okay, so we're going to go into week 3. Week 3, we're going to be covering chapter 5 and chapter 6. 5 is the different types of businesses. Interesting chapter. And the reason you're going to find the different types of businesses, like I explained, look at my short YouTube, is looking at minimizing my liability. Okay? Now, and then you're going to have week 6 is entrepreneur. What kind of skill sets, attitude I need. Look at the videos that I have here. Let me just click on here. Okay, so I'm in week 6. Remember, if I go back here, I always tell you everything you need to know. Weekly assignment. Okay, let me go weekly assignments. Read chapter 5, Performance of Business, chapter 6. Many books combine these two together. This author did it separately. Complete Learn Smart for chapter 5 and 6. You already have in there. Complete your form. Identify a business. This week you're going to be identifying your business, and you'll be building on for the different forms for the paper that's due at the end of the semester. You'll have your first Blackboard exam. Your Blackboard exam, and I'll explain that, is like you did those who did the quizzes, the practice quiz. You got extra points. Now there's going to be a Blackboard exam. You'll have the time limit in there. You'll answer the questions, and you have to the date that's on there. Once you start the exam, you have to finish it in one setting. Okay, and look at my short videos. Okay, so I'm going to click on chapter 3. So what do we have? Our connect assignments. I'm not going to go with that. We already know how to get them. I already have them in here if you want. I've got the links or you can find them here. Complete them by the dates. I think to do by Sunday or Saturday, whatever the date I have on there. Look at that. Okay, so I'm back to weekly assignment. All right, your research topic. Let's look at your forum. Your forum this week. You had to come up with a business. Okay, feasibility research. Identify your topic by Tuesday midnight. That's answering to me. You will not see other students. Okay, I want a new business or existing, or a new business or a new or existing product. You may be working for someone, or I may have a hot dog stand. Now I want to open up a new product line to tacos. Or if you look at what Burger King did, Burger King is basically Burger King. They're opening up a new product line, product line. Remember, we learned that product lines are make up product mixes. So in Burger King, you had chicken nuggets, you had a big Whopper, little Whopper, all that. Now they're opening up a new product line. They're opening up hot dogs. So they have to see if it's feasible for people to want hot dogs. They're doing research. So you're going to come up with either a new business. Some of you already have that idea. Some of you are going to come up with a new product that you're going to try to see does it make sense. That's what you're going to do with your paper, and that's what you're going to do your short PowerPoint presentation at the end. And what we're going to be doing going forward in the next couple of chapters, we're going to be preparing you. The forums that you're going to have in here will be actually asking you questions. Like this one is, what business is it? So you're going to tell me, okay, I'm going to open up a hot dog stand. I'm going to open up an accounting firm. I'm going to open up a new backpack. I'm going to be selling to business. Whatever it is, think of a product. You're going to post it in your header. So when you respond to this question, you're going to say, I'm going to open up a hot dog stand. You post it in there, and I'm going to open up in I'm going to open up in let's say Grace Lake or Waukegan or Lake Forest, wherever you're going to open up. Let me know. So what are your product lines you're going to be carrying? If it's a hot dog stand, I'm going to carry hot dogs, maybe tacos, and maybe some burgers or Polish sausage, okay? Who are your target customers? People during lunch hour, certain age group, people that are very health conscious. What town, where I'm going to open it up, I can say Grace Lake. Can you make a profit from the venture? Yes, not a profit a year. I'm looking for sustainability. You're going to look around. Who are your competitors? Place your topic and subject so others could see and respond if interested in helping. So if you see the top of a hot dog place in Lake Zurich, you may say, hey, there's too many hot dog places in Lake Zurich, or a pizza place in Lake Zurich, or I want to open up a tavern, or I want to open up a food cart or whatever. You know what I mean? It does make a difference. I'm going to open up a clothing line, or I'm expanding. I'm already there. I'm going to open up something. Let me know in here, and here identify these items by Tuesday midnight earlier. Once this is open, it's open now. And then once you post your post and try to put some information on, hey, I know about a hot dog stand. Did you think about adding this to that? Or did you think about making this a decor? Or what about the atmosphere? Could you add on peppers? Or do you want to have a Chicago type of hot? I'm just throwing this out. And that's how you communicate. Because the forums, when I'm doing the forums, when you're communicating within the forums, I'm going to spend less than, I'm going to jump in, say, yes, good idea, keep on going. I want you to connect to other individuals and help each other out. That's how your forum points are going to be administered. I will come in there when I see something. I'm not going to respond to everyone at the same time. As you've noticed my forums, I come in, come out. I take over the forums and I'll put some information in the subject area that I want other students to address to stimulate the forum. I'm going to ask questions, but I want you to help each other out as you would be helping other peers or other small businesses within your network when they have questions. And, you know, pretty soon we're going to be saying how you're going to market, what's your strengths, who your competitors are. All that information you'll be doing in this feasibility paper. It's not a full business plan. It's just to make sure I've got a great idea. Someone's going to fund it, but where am I going to open up this? Where do I have the higher probability of being successful? Okay, and then remember, you reply to 6 or more, not all in one day. I want it within a week. You could do it with your smartphone. There's a lot of ways you could, on the forums. If you're on I see students, you're texting, you're on 50, you're almost 24/7 on there. Respond to the forums. Don't do it all in one day, and don't do it all on Saturday. Saturday just to read it. After Saturday noon, the forum is closed. What'll happen? This forum here, some forums I'll leave open because people go back there to get some information, but I will turn off the ability for you to do any additional posting. So if you haven't done your posting by Saturday noon the latest, I'm looking for Friday midnight the latest. If you haven't done it by Saturday noon, the forum will be open for you to view. You click on it, but you will not be able to add any more threads. It's closed as far as I'm concerned. You go for next week's forum. Are we good? So try to get your posting. These are easy points. It's a good way of connecting within, so you're not all by yourself within this virtual classroom, and you have the information. Now, you'll always have my chapters. Let me just go in here. I'll go into the exam in a second. Maybe I'll go back here. Let me just go back here. You're going to have your first exam. I open up the first exam. It's ready. 50 questions. You have for chapters 2 to 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's click on here. So here's exam 2. I've gave you an hour and 40 minutes. More than enough time. Almost like if you would be in the classroom about an hour and a half. Something similar to what you're going to have your final exam with in this class. So I'm giving you time to get used to it. It's your first exam. Once you start the exam, it has to be completed on March 13th. I think that's a Saturday or Sunday. Once you start it, you have the hour and 40 minutes. You can't stop it. You can't come back like Learn Smart and do it later on. You have to start it and complete it. So make sure you have everything ready, your mindset, you're prepared. If you've done the Learn Smart Connect homework, you should do pretty well because they're using the same test questions they ask you in the Learn Smart, similar questions that you're asking in this test bank. If you're sitting with a close friend, the way it's set up, out of every chapter, there's 50 questions, and every student, I'm pulling out 10 questions out of the 50. So you could be with your partner, or you could be with your loved one, or if you think, you could be sitting there and you go, oh, geez, I got question 1, what's question 2? If you're doing that, could be completely different questions, right? Take the time. I'm not here to take advantage of you. I want to see how much material you learn. A fundamental class. You should have basic knowledge when you're talking to customers, when you're going for your job, so you know something about business. You open up your business or your manager. You understand how all businesses, all the different functionality operate. So if you're doing the Learn Smart, this should not be too bad for you. It's your first quiz exam in Blackboard, and I think you'll have 3 exams, and the final exam is comprehensive exam. Okay? So you began it, and then you should go, remember, you did the quizzes, the practice last week, you should do it right. Go through all. You're allowed to go forward, you're allowed to go backward. There's one question at a time. So I began, right? I'm not a student. Ask the question, and then you just keep on moving. Okay, I'm going to get out of here. Let me just go close this back into here. I don't want to take the test. Are we good? So you take that, you have that by the due date. All right, and you go in, I think it's by the 13th, if I'm mistaken. Once the exam is finished by that date, it's turned off, it's gone. I'll put it in here for late. If you did it late, it's 25% off. Right off the bat. Do the exam at a time. Some people want to do it first, some want to do it later. I'll at least do my Learn Smart for chapters 5 and 6, and then go take the exam at the end of the week. Okay, now you always have my lectures. Remember, here's lectures 5 and 6. Now these lectures, you just click on them, and a lot of students enjoy the lectures, so I'm told. They'll talk about it. Remember, you could turn off my voice, and you could just move me along. You're looking at the concept maps. What did I forget? I've read the chapter. I remember my mind maps are always available for you, and then you just add in. You've got the one tier. Okay, let me go back in here. I just want people to know this is how I would approach it. Weekly exam. Okay, so you're in week 3. You've got my lectures. Look at them. A lot of people like to look at them, or to take them on the smartphone. They're about like 60 minutes, 50 minutes. I try to keep it underneath an hour. It's a full lecture. I go through everything else. Some people listen to it in their cars when they drive. My mind maps, you print them out. Remember, here's a mind map PDF file. Okay, you open it up. What do I have here? Remember, whenever you have this additional here, you have to go into my lecture or read it and add in there. Highlight, don't say may provide financial advice. Provide financial advice. Get rid of all that. Highlight this. I give a little bit more so it's easier for you to read, and you have everything you want, and then you're ready to take your Connect homework or your Learn Smart homework, and then you're ready to take the exam. Okay, so let me just turn this off. Okay, so you have everything available for you. You can't go wrong. Okay, turn that off. Okay, leave page. Okay, let's go back in here. Mind map. All right. So we're back in weekly assignments. So I think you're doing well. Make sure. So what do we have for this week? Okay, you do your Connect homework. Get them out of the way. Read the book. Do the Connect homework. You read the chapter. Do the Connect. Makes sense. To the forum, what business you want to open up or product you want to open up. Post it in your subject area, and you've got by Tuesday minute to respond to me. Otherwise, it's down. Make sure you update your profile. Easier when we start communicating. We're in a virtual classroom. We're look at us as being people at the different location, and we're still communicating. I know who the other person is, either through meetings, and here you do it through your updating your profile. Look at that number. That means there's due dates that either I assigned in Blackboard or other instructors assigned it, and then respond to 6 or more students. Most of you are very good. Good comments. Get back to the individual. Don't wait on me. Help other students out. If they got questions, you know the answer. That's how you communicate in business. You're required to read all the different postings from every student. I read every little posting, just like in your Facebook or your Twitter account. You don't have to respond to everything else, but you're always looking, and so you have a general idea what's going on, and respond appropriately to where you think you could put some substance. If the person has never responded to you, but you could add to that person, you add to that person. That's building network, not always trying to get something back, always trying to connect with other individuals. After a while, you make that connection. Trust me, they'll come back to you and say, oh, George is always posting me. Let me post something to George's thing to help him out, or something else to Sally's or Alexis or Alasia's paper, whatever. Does that kind of make sense? All right. And then you have your first exam. I'm not covering chapter 1 because we did that with I gave you extra points. So it's chapter 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 50 questions, 10 questions per chapter. I don't think it's scrambled, so they're going to go in order. If you've done the Learn Smart homework, you should do pretty well on that. There's a good relationship to those because you already read the book. You're exposed to a certain amount of questions. You understand. Even though the question's not the same, understand the concept. When you look at my concept map, it tells you exactly what that chapter is about. Once I understand the chapter and I know the main components, no matter what questions there are, critical thinking skills come into play, and now I can resolve it. Some people study the question. I may throw on a review. I think I'll open up a review in here. Let me see if I have lectures by Dr. George. Do I have the review in here? Okay, exam 2 review. I didn't. Final exam. I'll put in exam 1 review. I'll see how you do. I could do a review on some of the questions to give you an idea that I did in the classroom. All right. For exam 2, definitely I already have in here. Exam 1, I'll try. I always want to see you how you do well before I see if I had to give you additional help. You'll do fine. Okay. Look, most people in this class do the homework. There's a lot of stuff I make you do. The forms, to connect, some homework in to turn in, some paper. All this you get your B and your A. If you're not a good test taker, don't worry about it. You're taking the test. Remember, to learn smart, you keep on doing it until you get the 10 points. The exams, that's it. So you have to learn how. That's a skill you have to learn. You may not be the best test taker, but you're better than you were before. When you look at your score, always look at your overall score in my grade book. Right? All right. So my grade book, I don't have much in my grade book. Okay, global, sorry, my grades. If I look at my grades, I don't have grades. Let me see. Let me just show you how the grade book looks. I went to entering as a student. I didn't post anything. My grades, I started posting something. Look, this form's coming up, social responsibility, right? The grade, and get no grade. Some of them, it tells you practice. I'm going to go 1. You had up to 6. Introduction form, 10 points. Right, here's how to build your Learn Smart 10. The other ones I tell you in there, you get a grade, and you know it works up from 90% to 100 is A, 80 to 90 is my B, you know, but a certain percentage is on there. Okay, are we good? So there are my grades. Look at my comments. If you have any comments, I always put it in here. You should do pretty good. All right, so that takes care of our week. Let me just exit the preview. I think I'll stay in here as a student. Preview users. Okay. All right. So we have everything. Week 3. Remember, we're going forward now. And my introduction is going to be shorter. Print out the blackboard. Update your profile. You have your first exam due by Sunday. Make sure you do your connect. Identify your business or your product that you're going to be researching, and that you're going to be, you know, you're going to find out who the competition. You got we're going to accounting. You're going to figure out how much to price it. You're going to figure out where you're going to open up. You're going to look at what your strengths and weaknesses are. So all the forms going forward now are building on your final paper. So when you do your paper, you'll have all these forms. So when you post the information in form, cut and copy and open up a file that says feasibility paper, Word document for Dr. George Mochocki, and you'll be fine. Okay? And I'll see you in the forum. Have a nice day. And again, my name is Dr. George Mochocki. This is Introduction to Business online. And this is week 3, covering chapters 5, how to form business, and basically in that chapter, when you look at the chapter reading and my short lectures that you could, you know, the 40, 50-minute lectures, it's how to minimize my liability, my risk. And the next one is entrepreneurship, the attributes. The attributes you're going to find on entrepreneurship, same attributes I need as a leader, a business person going forward. Okay? I'll see you in the forum. Have a nice day.